And this meeting is being recorded, I believe. Yes. All right. Hold on, still a couple more. There we go. All right. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. This is the Girls Magic Parent Meeting. Just making sure you're in the right meeting. We were having a few meetings tonight, so making sure you're in the right meeting. This is the girls, all girls Magic Parent Meeting. And thank you for being flexible and us moving our time slot with our practices going later and later. We felt like this is just a better option for you guys, or for us and you guys, to have a better meeting, better time slot. So thank you for being flexible. On the agenda, we're going to go high school. We'll start with the high school and kind of work our way down to the younger kids. That way, if you're high school, you don't have to stay on for the whole meeting unless you just want to. And then at the end, we'll stop between each topic if you have any questions, and we're happy to answer. But first, some logistical things as far as welcoming all of the new players to Magic. Our tryout season lasted a little longer, lasted a couple weeks this time, and we appreciate everyone's patience, our new and returning players, and us kind of formulating our rosters and getting our teams situated. So we really appreciate your patience with that, as we took the time to put your player in the best position we felt. And some other logistical items as far as Team Snap. Everyone should be on Team Snap. That's our communication, that's our scheduling. And those two things are very important to what we do. A lot of moving parts. Sometimes things change and we go right to Team Snap to communicate those changes or updates. So make sure you're in Team Snap, and you're able to add multiple family members to Team Snap. If you're in it, you're able to edit it yourself. So just keep that in mind, please. The other important piece is League Apps. So League Apps is our payment system. Everyone should be in that. And if you have any issues with fees or payments or our system, Coach Edwina kind of handles that piece. So she's always happy to answer any questions and get you situated that way. So Team Snap, League Apps, kind of our important piece. And then thirdly, uniforms. Shauna handles the uniform portion of, she handles the uniforms and even the fan gear. So any questions about that, she's in also the Team Snap. You'll be able to see her under the admin piece if you have any direct questions for her about uniforms, etc. So those are the logistical pieces for all teams. Any questions with League Apps, Team Snap, or uniforms?
Hey, Vanessa.
Yes, Nashawn.
One tip that I think will be super helpful for some parents that may not know, but the schedule in Team Snap, like you can add that calendar and subscribe to the Team Snap calendar and add that so it automatically updates the calendar on your cell phone so that parents don't have to manually input that. So just the FYI, there's a way you can subscribe to that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that is helpful.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can try to do like a recording and then send it to you, Vanessa, or send it to the different groups that shows how to do it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I think that would be so helpful because I had no idea that was even an option. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Coach Ashley's like, yeah, very helpful. Speaking of, Coach Curtis, graciously been handling the Team Snap updates of our 26 teams. So sometimes some mornings I'm like, I need to, anyway, she's been wonderful. And I want to thank you for that. It's been wonderful keeping that updated. Let's see. So, okay, we got those three logistics out of the way and no questions. And thank you, Nishan, for that tip. That'll be very helpful for people to know. Oh, and then also, as far as the newsletter, everyone should be subscribed to the newsletter. And in the newsletter, just that's our weekly updates, snapshots of what kind of we did over the weekend, what's coming up, etc. So everyone should be subscribed to that. And if you're not, I will include that link in the recording when I send that out tonight, so you can subscribe. And that's a way for us to kind of quickly get information out to everybody Magic-wide before even the Team Snaps updated, because sometimes that takes a little time. So thanks for that. All right, so with our high school program, I'll talk about our high school teams. We have a player's checklist and a parent checklist. And with our high school program, we are focused on recruiting, and development. Those two things are kind of the primary of what we do in our high school program. So there's a checklist of things that our players should be on and should be doing. And I send that directly to them. All my high schoolers should be on a GroupMe. I know there's so many things, but once you're in everything runs smoothly. But I have direct contact with my high school players, and I send them specific messages. For example, what we sent them, our new play that we have this weekend. So it's important that all high schoolers are on the GroupMe. If they're not, we'll make sure we'll make sure they are. But there's specific things for their recruiting that's important, especially before our tournament season starts next month. We have 3 platforms for our high school program. We have our Elite 40. It's an invitational platform, and we have 2 teams playing on that circuit. We have our Blue Star platform, also invitation. We have 2 teams playing in that circuit. And then we have our local platform. All teams get the same coaching, same training. They're just simply playing in different leagues or at different levels. But our goal is ultimately to get everyone recruitable and everyone developed. So if you have any questions about where your player's placed, or about her goals, or what, her plan, I'm happy to jump on a call or Zoom call and talk to you about that. But those are the 3 platforms that we've divided for our high school program. And everything we do is supporting in that. Well, whether it be the trainings that they're in, the tournaments that they're in, our recruiting. We have a recruiting page where college coaches kind of search through. So we make sure they're up, all their profile stuff's updated, where they're going to be playing is updated, et cetera. And we talk to our players about the recruiting process once we get things, once we get everything in the system, to make sure they're in the very best light when we go out on the road. Along with that, the high school players that are traveling, this week we will be posting flights, and then hotels, the team hotel for the first tournament in Milwaukee. We'll have that up and going, and you can attach yourself to the flights. But there's 2 options. Actually, there's one option. Is most players are traveling with parent or with a guardian, and then we ask that you meet us at the tournament, and then we have a team hotel that everyone stays in. Different from last year, where we traveled with 30, 40, 50 players. It's just easier to manage that way if people are, managing their own travel. We do have a handful of players that are traveling with Magic, but we made that very limited this year because things kind of changed for us when we traveled as a group last year. $300 tickets turned into $550 tickets because we were in such a big group. So it's just easier. So If you have any questions about that, we're definitely happy to explain further, or you'll see a working copy that we start with every trip that we do. It'll be the Milwaukee working copy, and every time we have updates, we'll add to that working copy. So that will be posted in the high school schedule. Yes.
Just wanted to add to the few players that are traveling with Magic have kind of been grandfathered in too. So it's kind of a commitments that we made last year, but our goal is to have everyone traveling with a parent or a guardian in the future. I just wanted to add that piece.
Sounds good. Any questions about high school programming? Okay. So I'm going to circle back with your hand still up, Edwina. That means you have a question. Okay. Okay. It's a cool thing. I like the hand. So the rising teams are we have 4th rising, 5th rising, 6th rising, 7th rising. And those teams, our focus for the spring and summer are the Rising Nationals, which is the Ohio tournament in July. We have the Call the Ball in September, and Made Hoops going into the fall and winter of next year. We have been invited to a middle school, kind of a prestigious tournament in, I want to say April or May, one of those. I just sent it out, but I'll look at my notes. But we'll do things like that. I'm not real interested in going to the Best in the West this year with our rising teams, and I'm saying that because we've played so much all over, and we keep running into the same exact teams. And I'd rather, put our resources towards kind of the bigger things in front of us to prepare for those. So I will talk to each team individually about that, but I wanted to at least get that out there and kind of plant that seed that we're looking at big things and different things to get our girls kind of the edge going into the next phase of who they are. And I always like to, to put things in front of them that they want to strive for. And, they just, we did well at the middle school championship. We did partially at the Made Hoops. We already at Call to Ball. So, the Best in the West is, it's not in that
bracket.
Yeah, it's not in that bracket. So, but I'll talk to each team specifically about that. And then our elite teams are girls that really need a lot of floor time to develop to get to the next level. And so we're providing league opportunities where they're playing. So they're practicing every week, they're training every week, and they're playing every week in their league play. And this is through April, end of March, April, May, and then summer, more tournament play. And then the goal is to, to accelerate that development. So that's how we put the schedule together for our elite teams. Any questions about rising or elite teams, tournament schedules, etc.?
You explained it so well. There's no questions.
Good deal. So what we're doing now, this is kind of a week into our spring season. Teams will start to do our team retreats. We have our big All Magic retreat next Saturday, which is going to be phenomenal. All Magic's invited from kindergarten all the way up to high school, parents included. We have some special guests planned to come speak, and some surprise guests hopefully that could also drop by. But it's our way of kind of kicking off the season. And this year's theme is sisterhood, and we're embracing that theme, and we want our sisterhood to grow and be very so anyway.
Sorry.
It's okay. So that's our theme theme this year. So we're excited about kicking off the season. So again, we're going to be doing our team retreats because we want our players to know each other off the court as well as on the court. We feel like chemistry is built, the better the players know each other. So we want to do some things off the court, and we're going to rely on team moms or dads to kind of coordinate that. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Maybe, go meet for ice cream, go bowling, go meet for pizza, spend the night. That's kind of that's okay. You don't have to do that, but something that gets the girls off the court, and the parents too can get to know each other off the court, and that really helps with the on the court stuff that we'll be doing this year. We have our mentor mentee program. So each player will be assigned a mentor or a mentee in our program. So our high schools will have some mentees, and then some of even our younger, like our 7th graders might have a 2nd grader or a 3rd grader as a mentor. And we have some guidelines, and we're going to teach them. We're not just throwing them out there. You're a mentor. So we're going to teach them how to be a mentor, how to be a great leader and a good example for our young ladies. So girls have someone to lean on other than their coaches and their teammates and their parents. In the past, it's been a really cool thing. You want to add anything, Edwina?
No, it's a great description, except maybe it goes to volunteer hours. High school parents, you could drop off now too. We've finished most of the high school stuff, unless you just want to hang out and listen.
Good deal. All right, so All Magic Retreat.
Hi,
Yep,
I apologize, real quick before the high school drops off. I do have a couple questions real quick.
All right.
As far as goes like videotaping the games and getting videos, do you guys provide that for us to be able to retrieve? No.
So all the tournaments that we're in, the college viewing tournaments, and most of actually the local ones that we're in, all are on Baller TV or some kind of live streaming. That's kind of the new thing. So we'll know that prior to attending. So we'll send that link out where you can subscribe to either Baller TV, and there's another one that's kind of out. But all of them are live stream. And then, if parents want to volunteer other than the live stream sometimes you can't because it's against policy, but for the most part, Baller TV or another streamline. These are for the high school ones. Especially the college viewing ones, they're on Baller TV, but maybe the local ones may not be. But maybe a parent might volunteer to Facebook Live or record it. But it's important. Film is really important. So we might ask for volunteers per team to record a game and then rotate that responsibility, because film is really important for our high school team. Yeah.
Okay, because I normally record, but I do want to step away from recording. Like I record my child, all of her games.
Don't step away.
So that's why I'm asking. I mean, if I have to, I will, because I've been doing it forever.
Yes.
And I'm Leilani's mom. But I just was asking.
Yeah.
And sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I took the question too to mean like using the film to produce your child's highlight reel that you might want to use for recruiting purposes. And when some of the tournaments, if you pay, they will do that for your child. They will go and take your child's game and pick out the best segments of it. Somebody at the tournament offers that service. But also, I don't know if you can record Baller TV, Vanessa. I imagine you could screen record it, and then you can pull out pieces that you want for a highlight film.
No, I was saying if it's not Baller TV, we would want you to subscribe, but if it's not Baller TV, other than that, but from Baller TV, you'd be able to download and create your own.
Okay, so they can download it.
Yeah, you can download it, and I think they offer the service now, and that's new. They'll offer a highlight service for you too. Yeah, kind of the big thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering if because normally when I record, we my child and I sit down and we look at the film too. So we've always went over and looked over the film as well as highlights. So that's why I was asking.
Good
Now
deal.
that brings another thing to mind. When I'm not coaching a high school team, I usually take the top team and I have an app that I've been using for 10 years. It costs $10 and I create the stats, and I can create the stats per game, and then it could be per season, per league. And girls have used that for recruiting as well. But I can teach any parent how to do it. It's not if you want to do it and do it for your team. It's
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep, we want video and
you would have to practice at practice doing it. It's something you just pick and do right away. But it's a great app, and anyone who is in.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
yeah.
And then one more question.
Mhm.
I know you said you were going to send out the hotel information for the traveler from Milwaukee. I don't know if you have all the information for all of them,
Mhm.
for all the travel, but I know that you're supposed to send it out for Milwaukee. And I know I'm just checking to make sure that what's on our team chat is the actual schedule for our kids to what they're going to actually be going to play.
Yeah, as she's 16. Is she 16 you?
Yes, sorry, she's blue 16.
Okay, so yeah, she'll be going to Milwaukee next month. So yeah, we'll need that Milwaukee hotel, and then she'll be going to Texas.
Is it Dallas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Our goal is to get that out this week, right, Vanessa?
I'll get that updated tonight, Vanessa.
Yep. And we
Okay.
actually have the hotel for Milwaukee, so we'll post that. Yeah. Thank you, Shauna.
Okay, I appreciate it. I believe that's all the questions. Oh, one more thing. So there were names on the when you sent it out of people who do the video and who do the highlights that you guys use. Are those people that we can use, or we have to go through the baller alert?
No, we those are people that we recommend. That they're pretty busy. I would yeah, so those are people that we've used with Magic. And so they've offered, if you say you're with Magic, you should get kind of a deal, a Magic deal. So yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Any other questions, high schoolers or anyone, rising, elite?
I have a quick question. How do we, my daughter, she's on the Blue Star Washington team for high school. How does she get onto the group me? Because she's not in that.
Okay, I'll send that when I send the recording out in TeamSnap. Are you in TeamSnap?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm gonna also send that link for GroupMe for her to join.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so one thing I wanted to share with the parents real quick is kind of so just a level of understanding. So we have a Magic system and kind of a Magic brand, and we want to teach the kids kind of all the same system. So when they're moving through our program, they're confident about going from one team to the next because they've been running the system. So what you're seeing, or what you will see, is kind of the synergy behind our programs, the way we start practice, the way we warm up, some of our drills, some of our all of our play execution. We have 3 main plays that we like to teach all the players, and we're going to implement that this week for the teams, especially the new teams, but for all the teams. And so you'll see that if you're at practice, how we run kind of things the same way. And the importance of that is, at the college level, there's a system that they'll have to learn. And we feel like if we can teach them our system, and that we grow and develop through our system, they'll be most prepared for going to any program at the high school level, at the college level. So that this is what you'll see. And we take our time. We have coaches meetings every week, and we kind of talk about what we're doing, how we're developing. And it's been something that we've been doing for years, and we'll continue to do. And it's evolved a little bit, but for the most part, it comes down to fundamentals, defense, and kind of execution. And teams should start to look the same. So if your player, for example, is on the elite team, and another player is on the rising team, if they don't look the same, it's because there's a teaching level. And sometimes we may have to slow some things down to get moving, right? But by the end of it, for example, all our fifth graders, we expect them in seventh graders to all look alike, and all our seventh graders now, by the time they get to ninth grade, we expect them all to look alike. So if one's on rising, one's on elite, they're just getting something different. But ultimately, the goal is to understand our system, learn our system, and be at a certain point by the end of it. So that I just wanted to offer that for some understanding in case, you're wondering kind of what's the method to our madness. There definitely is a method. And it's all about development. So just want to share that with you.
I think we have about 4 minutes before this meeting ends. 3 minutes.
Any questions?
Hey, Vanessa, no question, but in the chat, I did add a short video recording of how parents can subscribe to the calendar to make their lives easier. So it's in the chat. So grab that real quick before this video Zoom ends.
Yep. And plus it'll be recorded so you can have access to it later as well.
Good deal. Thank you for that, Michonne. All right, guys. If you don't have any questions, that's all we had this week. Again, we appreciate you coming on a Sunday versus a Thursday. A little easier.
Yeah.
All right.
A little harder for us. Back-to-back meetings.
All right, guys. We'll see you in the gym this week. Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.